Everybody, you're back with Joey Ciccone, Dr. Tony Gumina, running for senator of Nevada. Come on, let's get that. Show him. Bring that thing out a minute over here. Let me see what we got to do here. You got to sign this petition.
Well, it's
right
just one
here.
of my petition forms.
You sign it, or we come and take care of things. Now, someone over, Jimmy, you asked the question, but then your screen blocked out, so I'm going to let him answer. Joey, is Dr. Gumina connected?
I think I'm not connected enough. That's the problem here that I'm having. Otherwise,
I got we don't have all the juice. If we had the juice, it'd be like, well, I don't want to say anything. Maybe it'd be like the movie The Godfather, but we'll leave that alone. What's your take on medical marijuana?
well, I think there's quite a few uses for medical marijuana. And do you have to smoke it? No, there's actually tons of things we do with different creams, waxes. There's all kinds of different ways to use it. Does it have benefits, versus, everybody thinking that people are misusing it? I think it's almost like anything. If you use it for the right reason, it's going to do what it needs to do. Use it for the wrong reasons, you can have problems.
And I mean, you can use it for like a lot of different things, like for like anxiety, or there's like pain and stuff too, right?
Yeah,
There's
a lot of people use it for
isn't there
pain,
different forms and
nerve
stuff?
problems, headaches. I mean, I've got people that use it for all kinds of different things. And I've got no problem prescribing it for people because usually it's because they've tried everything else and nothing else has worked. And you get to try this, and for a lot of them, it does do something. And so if it helps them, it works.
Yeah, that's one thing I always notice with you. You're like, if it's working for you and helps your situation, then fine. If not, then we try something else.
Yeah.
Aren't they always trying to push different drugs and different things? I mean, the pharmaceuticals. I don't know. Is that?
Well, the one thing I notice is that the lab values seem to keep going lower and lower and lower, which means that more and more people will be put on medicine for certain things. So I'm wondering, where the heck does that come from?
Now, I got to ask you the tough questions. You get a little kickback on that? Hey, if I let try this, let me see. I don't know. I know I threw that one on you.
Yeah,
but
I think I came into medicine a little bit late. In the olden days, they took doctors to Hawaii, they took doctors golfing. That all seemed to go away as soon as I started. I think they knew I was coming into medical practice. They said, we got to stop it now because he's coming in here.
Right.
So I didn't get to take advantage of any of that. No.
Man, that's crazy. Let me see what we got here. So you had good schooling, but this is very important, and I read this, and you got to go to the website. His bio is incredible, and for me to read it would take up to 10 minutes of a segment. But you were talking about your schooling, but I think what really bothers you is your boys coming up and their educational futures. What's going on besides the core thing? What is happening? I mean, are they going to private schools? What's changing that's, say, bothering you?
Well, me and my wife have decided we actually are going to put our kids into a private school. They're going to go to Lake Mead Christian Academy next year. And the biggest reason for doing that is because we don't want the kids to go into the public education system where they have core curriculum. I'm really a person who doesn't believe in the core curriculum.
I don't.
Because it really actually says we don't believe in teachers' ability to teach anymore.
Right.
And just like if you have a patient who's sick with pneumonia, the doctor gets to know really if the patient is doing better by examining them. You got to believe in teachers. The teachers are going to know if the kids are doing better if we actually empower them to make the right decisions.
No, I totally agree with that,
Instead,
man.
right now, we just keep blocking them. We get more administrators to go in there and blame them from things instead of saying, let's see what the teacher thinks, because really she's the one with the kids most. So what's happening here is we're moving away from trusting people. And I think when you really think of education, the most important element in good education is the human element. And that's believing in the teachers and the parents. And I think that's the direction we need to go. There's lots of studies done in Finland that show that paying them more money doesn't necessarily make better teachers. Throwing more money at the schools doesn't make a better education system. It's actually still boils down to teachers and parents.
And, I noticed that when I was a teacher out here at the Catholic school, I taught guitar, vocal, piano, everything. And, I was like, what's this core thing about? What's that about? Man, it's about what I can give you as a professional, what I would teach them. And that's what drove it to the highest degree until things changed over in the Catholic Archdiocese, which I don't want to get into right now. But anyway, you're watching the Joey Ciccone Show. We're with Dr. Tony Gumina here, running for the Senate here in Nevada. We want to get as many votes as possible for him, but we need this petition signed today, and that's not why I had him on the show. It just happened that it kind of came out this way that Friday's the deadline, I guess. Today's the deadline of all
Well,
things.
the reality is it kind of boils down. I screwed something up a little bit on the original form, and so we had to redo it. And now we're a short time to redo it and get it all taken care of. But the good thing is we've got lots of good people that have showed up to help us. Thank you very much. And my wife is helping out, busting her butt. And so far it comes always down back to people and people helping. And, it sort of like reminds me a little bit about It's a Wonderful Life, where, the guy has a problem in the end,
Yeah.
and everybody comes to put
Everyone
a little
comes
money
in
under the
and
tree.
they help out.
And that's kind of what's happening today. So it's a beautiful thing.
Well, it's not like it was your first time filling out the form. You know what I'm saying?
No, that too.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we learn, right? We learn from. Who's in this race? A lot of people.
There's like 17, 18 people running right now, but after next week, once they have the primary, about 3/4 of them will go away, and depending on if everybody doesn't get the petitions in, we might see a few more. So it'd probably come down to a 4, maybe 5-person race altogether.
Okay, and so this is what I asked you prior to the show. I got all my pre-ballot information yesterday, and where's my boy at? So please explain
Well,
that.
what's kind of going on is most people don't know, people running for Congress or Senate that are running as nonpartisan are not on the primary because they don't have a primary party that votes. And so even though there are a few people listed under the nonpartisan, those are for judge positions. That's a different election issue. But the Congress and Senate people are not on the ballot if they're nonpartisan. So you won't see my name or any other independent person who's running for those seats on the ballot. Hopefully, if everything goes right, you'll see my name on the ballot in November. And the cool thing should be that Gumina should be first on the list. So you don't have to look very far on that final ballot.
Now, why is that? Because it starts with an A or
No, it's because it's not Antonio that's going to come first. It's Gumina because
the G?
the G. It should be the first one. As long as everybody else drops out or doesn't make it to the end, I believe that I should be the first on
Yeah,
the
look,
list.
everybody else, I'm telling you right now, drop out right now, all right? Drop out. Gavish, drop out.
Let's see, if I was connected in the right way, they would all just disappear.
You will
Right.
be. We'll call Canarsie again and take care of everything. Man, it's been great. We got like about 2 minutes left. Let's do this. You want to see me in person, man? I'm gonna be like hanging out at Summerhill Plaza there, over by Pink Box. They've sponsored me since I basically started the show, and man, I do it for them because they sponsored me. It's gonna be hot. It's 4:00. I'm getting out there with the acoustic, all my gear. I'm gonna rock some tunes, man, from like the 80s, 90s. You just heard one of my tunes called Freedom, from back in the day. But my thing's always been, if you can cut it with a guitar and vocal, then let's see what you're really about. Why don't you come out and say hi to Joey? I got all my CDs there. Let's rap a little bit. Hear what I can really do vocally. Have you ever heard me perform or in your office?
Just when you sang in my office. I think it was during a rectal
What did
exam, though.
Yeah, and I was hitting some really high notes, folks. I'm talking high notes. But, yeah, we don't want to get into that. But let me tell you something about him on a professional level. It's hard to get in with you in the office. Let's put the cards on the table. This is like a poker thing, so.
Yep.
It's hard to get in with you. So the bottom line is this. It's always good to have a referral for him to get in. But I've come across a lot of different cats in life and stuff, and Dr. Tony's just really from the heart, and everything that he's displayed here today on my show is really from the heart. And when you have a guy that's just a stand-up guy that's telling you the reality of it all, maybe you should stop and think. I mean, it's happening in the world right now. They want to control things their way. We need new and fresh. That's what it's all about. I'm not a big political guy, but the bottom line is new and fresh is always a beautiful thing. You bring in a lot of great thoughts. To conclude here with about 40 seconds left, what do you want to say? You want to say anything else to your people out there?
Well, I just want to say,
please?
if you see any of my signs, they're green. Green stands for Refreshing Nevada.
You can't see this. We have a green screen, and he had a green shirt on, and we found out that You don't wear green with a green screen. All right, whatever.
And I believe in solar farms and a lot of renewable energy. Once again, I think that we just need to work on bringing foreign policy back to the United States and fixing domestic policy, because that's really, I think, where we need to work on.
I love it. And I just want to say this real fast. You're watching the Joey Ciccone Show, Connected. I have solar on my house. All right? Don't even get me started what happened.
Love you.
Listen to him. We'll talk to you later.